All right, guys, this is going to be our last and final video for the semester, and it's going to be all about the final exam. So if you've made it this far, congratulations. You only have one more test to go. So your final exam is going to be a comprehensive exam. It'll cover material from all of your 7 lecture test units, all the way from Chapter 1 into Chapter 15. So typically this test is the one that is not given in the testing center. If you were taking an in-person class, we would take this together in class. But since it is our web lecture, you will have an opportunity to take this test in the testing center as you have all of your other tests. So this particular test, though, is going to be due on Wednesday, May 13th. That is the final day of class, and your test must be completed by the time the testing center closes on Wednesday. It's also a little bit different, and then this test is only going to be available for 3 days. I'm going to open this test on Monday, May 11th, and so you will have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to take the test. Now, I am going to offer some opportunities to take it in person. I know many students do not really like taking tests in the testing center, and so if you would like to take the test in person with me using a Scantron and a paper test like my normal classes would, we can arrange that. So I'm going to be available Tuesday and Wednesday, May 12th and May 13th. Not all day, but I will have some availability that if you are interested in taking the test in person, if you would just send me an email and I would be happy to arrange a time for you to take it in person. And it would just be a matter of you bringing a green Scantron and a pencil, and then I would provide a paper test, and then you can take it that way if you would prefer. So just let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. The main thing is that you have to have your final taken by Wednesday, May 13th, and it's only going to be available Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now, there's no homework for this unit. All you have in your final unit are materials to help you be successful on the final. And in my personal opinion, this one should be the test that you do the best on because you have a very specific description of what you need to know for your test. And so you do have many materials in your packet, and then you have lots of materials on Moodle. That is not what I meant to click on. I was trying to find your things to know. All right, so for your final exam, you have a very specific things to know as soon as it opens. All right, so you have a breakdown from each unit about what you need to know. Okay, so you have your Chapter 1, these are the objectives, Chapter 2, and notice these are smaller lists than what you had on the original test. You even kind of have a question breakdown that shows you about how many questions you can expect over each topic. So it's very, very, very specific, and your test is going to reflect this very specific things to know. You will have some matching word bits, and you will have some particular questions from each chapter that we covered. All right, so the next thing we want to take a look at are the study materials. And so your study materials are going to be created by Miss Grisham and Miss Johnson. And so in your packet, you have a 19-page document that essentially aligns with that things to know. So there's not really anything you have to do with it other than look at it. So like for instance, there's something about body planes. Well, on that document, you have the information that you need about body planes to study. So you aren't actually having to go back into all of your old notes to find what you need to study. What you need is on those 19 pages. Now, something else you have is you have some fill-in-the-blank practice materials. These were created by Miss Johnson, and so you can just practice filling in those blanks over the basic concepts. And then if you want to check them, there are some little activities that you can do to check your answers on those fill in the blanks. So you can see like this would be number 25 through 49. There's number 61 through 68. So you could fill those in and kind of check your answers. So not only in your packet, but also on Moodle, you have these review activities available to you to help you prepare for the final exam. And between all of these materials, if you do them and study them, you should do well on your semester exam. And so that's really all you have to do. The only graded assignment is the test itself, and that's going to be due by May 13th. I'll be getting that ready and posted. And like I said, if you want to email me about possibly taking it in person, I will be more than happy to do that. And we have some times available on both Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And then the last thing I need to cover are the bonus points. So your TC surveys actually came out today on May 4th, and they're going to be available through May 13th. In order for you to get bonus points, you do have to have it completed by the time you take the final. I think it's actually open through the 15th, but if you want me to give you bonus points for doing the survey, I need you to have it done by the time you take the final exam on the 13th. And it is anonymous. I won't know who said anything, but if you go into your TC email, you should see an email from TC Survey Administrator. It probably takes you less than 5 minutes. And if you complete the survey, I will give you 5 points. Now, it's going to tell you to screenshot it and send me a picture. As long as you do it by the 13th, I'll be able to see that you've done it. So you don't have to do that. If you do, it's fine, but it's just not required. So there's a little small bonus opportunity available if you would like to take advantage of it. And so this is going to be available Monday, May 11th through Wednesday, May 13th. So be sure you get your final exam done. It is going to average into your grades like all of your other tests, and hopefully you guys will finish strong. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out. I'd love to see you guys in person before the semester's over, but if not, have a great summer and the best of luck to you.